students, how are you all? I hope all of you are fine, doing great at your homes. So students, I was explaining you the chapter fractions and we have completed one exercise, that is exercise 5C from this chapter. Now we have to start the next exercise, that is exercise 5D. But before starting that exercise, I want to explain you something about like fractions and unlike fractions and how to convert the unlike fractions into like fractions and how do we compare the like fractions. So there are certain things which needs to be explained before beginning the exercise. So the first thing which I want to explain is like fractions. What are like fractions? You are studying it from class 4 only. Like fractions are the fractions having same denominator. Like fractions are the fractions having same denominator, correct? Now coming to unlike fractions. What are unlike fractions? Unlike fractions are the fractions having different denominators. जहाँ पे आपका denominator अगर अलग होगा, then that fractions, those fractions are said to be unlike fractions, correct? Now clear with like and unlike fractions? Now coming to the conversion of unlike fractions into like fractions. How do we convert the unlike fractions into like fractions? What is the rule which we need to follow while converting the unlike fractions into like fractions? Suppose some unlike fractions are given to you. How will you convert? The best thing which you can do is you have to make the denominator same. Now to make the denominator same, what we have to do? We can take the LCM of the denominators. Okay. Now I am writing some of the fractions. You have to tell me which one is like and which is unlike. Now tell me which fractions are the like fractions. Obviously 3 upon 4, 8 upon 4, 5 upon 4 and 2 upon 4 are the like fractions. Now why they are like fractions? Because they have the same denominator and the denominator is 4. Now coming to the unlike fractions. Which of the fractions are unlike fractions? 7 upon 9, 8 upon 3 and 7 upon 6 are unlike fractions. Why they are unlike fractions? Because the denominator is different. Now what we will do? We will convert these unlike fractions into like fractions by making the denominator same. Now how will we make the denominator same? We will simply take the LCM of the denominators. क्या करेंगे हम लोग? We will simply take the LCM of the denominators. Now take the LCM of 3, 6 and 9. 3 ones are 3 twos are 3 threes are. Now what is the LCM? The LCM of these three numbers is 3 twos are 6, 6 threes are 18. Now to make it 18, 7 upon 9 में अगर आपको 18 बनाना है 9 को, तो with which number you will multiply? जो आप डिनोमिनेटर में मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे वही आपका न्यूमरेटर में भी मल्टीप्लाई होगा. बाय द सेम नंबर you have to multiply in the numerator also. Now coming to the second one, 8 upon 3. So to make it 18, 3 has to be multiplied with 6. So we have to multiply 6 with the numerator also. Now coming to the third one, that is 7 upon 6. So to make it 18, 6 has to be multiplied by 3. So same number has to be multiplied with the numerator of that fraction. So now it will be 14 upon 18, 48 upon 18 and 21 upon 18. Now are they like fractions? Yes, they are like fractions because the denominator is same, correct? So this is how you will convert the unlike fractions into like fractions by taking the LCM of the denominators. Now what are the basic rules which we need to follow while comparing the like fractions? How do we compare the like fractions? Rule 1 is there, जैसे आपका दिया हो 7 upon 5 and 8 upon 5. So rule 1 says that if the denominator is same, you will compare the numerators and the greatest numerator is the greatest fraction. The rule 1 says that if the fractions are like fractions and the denominators तो same होंगे क्योंकि जब like fraction होगा तो the fraction with the greatest numerator is greater. Sorry, 8 is greater than 7. तो जिस fraction का numerator बड़ा होगा वही fraction बड़ा होगा. Okay, 7 upon 11, 5 upon 11. Obviously 7 upon 11 is greatest, correct? So in the same way, now what is the next rule? The next rule says that if the denominators is not same, if the denominators are not same and the numerator is same, जब आपका numerator same होगा, then how will you compare 5/8 and 5/3? Which one is greatest? I think I have already explained you about that. Among two fractions with the same numerator, the one with the smaller denominator is the greatest. जिसका denominator छोटा होगा वो fraction बड़ा होगा. यहाँ पे उल्टा है. In case of numerator, the numerator which is greatest, that fraction is greatest. Now if it is about denominators, if the numerator which is smallest is the greatest fraction, जो denominator छोटा होगा वही आपका बड़ा fraction होगा. So this one is the biggest fraction, right? Taking one more example, obviously 3/5 बड़ा होगा because 5 is smallest denominator. So the denominator which is smallest is greatest fraction. Now the next method which you can follow to compare the fractions is cross multiplication. आप cross multiplication से भी compare कर सकते हैं. 5 3 is 15 and 8 5 is 40, right? So obviously 40 is greater than 15. That means 5/3 is greater than 5/8. This is how you can compare the two fractions. Now how will you convert or compare the fractions if the denominator is different, numerator is also different? तब आप कैसे compare करेंगे? अगर आपको compare करना है 3/5 को 7/9 से, how will you compare? Here the numerator is also not same and the denominator is also same. यहाँ पे भी आप cross multiplication कर सकते हैं. 27 and 35. 7/9 is greater. Okay. Now one more method which you can follow is you can take the LCM of the denominators. Take the LCM of the denominators, convert the fractions into like fractions, then you can easily compare them. Okay. So I hope you must have understood how to compare the like fractions and how to compare the fractions with the same denominator and the different denominators, and how to convert the unlike fractions also. And by this method you can also arrange the fractions into ascending and descending order also. Okay. Now in exercise 5D, question number 1 is define like and unlike fractions, give examples of each. So the like fractions are the fractions having same denominator, unlike fractions are the fractions having different denominators. So you have to write the examples and the definition in the maths class for copy. Now coming to the second option, convert 3/5, 7/10, 8/15 and 11/30 into like fractions. How will you convert them into like fractions? Let me solve this question for you. To convert them into like fractions, we have to make the denominator same. So to make the denominator same, we have to take the LCM of the denominators. Now I am taking the LCM for you. 5 1s are 5 2s are 5 3s are 5 6s are. Then 2 1s are 2 3s are. Then 1 1s are 1 1s are 1 1s are. Correct? So 5 2s are 10, 10 3s are 30. So what is the LCM of 5, 10, 15 and 30? The LCM of 5, 10, 15 and 30 is 30. So now to make it 30, क्या करेंगे आप? 3/5, next one is 7/10, then 8/15 and 11/30. अब आपको क्या करना है? डिनोमिनेटर को 30 बनाना है. To make it 30, it has to be multiplied with 6. So it will be 18/30. Now to make it 30, we have to multiply it with 3. Same number has to be multiplied by the numerator also. So it will be 21/30. Now coming to this one, it will be multiplied by 2. So it will be 16/30. This one is already 30, so it will be 11/30. So this is how you will compare the unlike fractions into like fractions. I hope you must have understood, students. In the same way, you have to do question number 3. Question number 3 you have to do in the maths homework copy. You have to take the LCM of the denominators and then you have to compare them. So that's all for today. Have a nice day. If you have any problems, any queries, you can comment down in the comment section.
Subscribe the channel and press the bell icon.